If the world feels heavy right now, you're not alone. The world is changing fast, and sometimes it feels like it's changing faster than we can process. The headlines move quickly. The conversations feel tense. The future feels uncertain, and somewhere beneath all of it, your heart might feel tired of noise, tired of pressure, tired of trying to stay steady in a world that won't seem to slow down. But maybe this moment is not just chaos. Maybe it is also an invitation to pause, to soften, to remember something deeper than what the surface of the world is showing you. Because even when everything outside feels unstable, there is still a place inside you that knows how to be still. When everything shifts at once, our stress tolerance begins to thin. Shock, denial, anger, fear. These reactions are not weakness. They are human. They are signs that you care. When the ground beneath you changes, of course your nervous system reacts. Of course your mind tries to prepare for every possible outcome. Of course your heart tightens. It's okay to acknowledge that. It's okay to say, this is a lot. Sometimes the first step towards steadiness is simply admitting that something feels overwhelming. You don't have to pretend you're unaffected. But after the first wave passes, after the initial reaction settles, there is often a quiet space, small, subtle, almost easy to miss, and inside that space is your ability to choose how you respond next. You may not control the world, but you can begin to steady your response to it. The heart is your anchor. When the world feels unstable, connection stabilizes you. Speak to someone you trust, not to fix everything, just to share honestly. Listen deeply when someone speaks to you, not to debate, not to correct, just to understand. A shared breath, a simple kindness, a quiet, I see you. These small exchanges regulate more than we realize. Your nervous system responds to safety, and connection creates safety. Gratitude does the same. It might feel difficult at first, when the world feels uncertain, but try this gently. Think of one person you appreciate, or one moment from today that carried even a hint of beauty, a warm drink, sunlight through a window, the sound of leaves moving in the wind. Hold that image in your mind. Let your attention rest there and breathe slowly. When fear begins to rise, and it will sometimes, you don't need to fight it. Instead, slow down your breath. Imagine your breath moving in and out through the center of your chest. Inhale, calm. Exhale, tension. Inhale, steadiness. Exhale, what you don't need to carry. You don't have to eliminate fear entirely. You only need to soften its grip. There is a difference between living in fear and living in thoughtful caution. Fear overwhelms, caution guides. Fear tightens the body. Caution keeps you aware without stealing your peace. And with practice, you can begin to shift from one to the other. Healing does not happen all at once, and you are not behind. If you still feel unsettled, try not to compare who you were before to who you are right now. Both versions of you are doing their best with the circumstances they were given. Sometimes we exhaust ourselves, wishing things were the way they used to be, but life unfolds forward, and even when it feels like loss, there is still movement. There is still becoming. The world may feel upside down, but sometimes that is how systems reset. Sometimes that is how priorities realign. Sometimes that is how we remember what truly matters. You do not need to solve everything. You do not need to predict every outcome. You only need to take the next steady step, a slower breath, a softer reaction, a kinder internal voice. If the news overwhelms you, step away for a while. If conversations feel heated, protect your energy. Calm is not avoidance, it is strength. Stillness is not weakness, it is clarity. And choosing peace in a chaotic moment is an act of courage. Across the world, quiet hearts are learning how to stay centered in changing times. You are part of that. Even if no one sees it, even if no one applauds it, every time you pause, instead of reacting, every time you breathe, instead of spiraling, you are contributing to a steadier world, not by force, but by presence. So if the world feels heavy right now, come back to this breath, come back to this moment, come back to yourself. You are allowed to move through change with softness. You are allowed to take this slowly. You are allowed to remain centered, even while everything evolves around you. Thank you for pausing here. May you move through the world a little steadier, a little softer. Today, the whispering path